What's going on, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas? It is Tuesday, April 13th, the weekend after the Masters. Jay, just kidding. It's the actual week after the Masters, but that's okay. And welcome to an all new episode of the Duffin Up podcast. My name is Brendan Monroe, and as always, I am sitting here with the one, the only Michael Adams. Michael, how are you tonight?
Man, the golf world is in a good place right now, so I'm in a good place. What a weekend we just had. What an ultimate victory, and just some exciting golf. Maybe not as much drama as we might have hoped for, but it was quite an event, and so happy for Hideki Matsuyama. Just what a win. And how good does that gotta feel? Let's talk about it, man. It's been quite a I mean, how many 72 times 2 144 hours? That's a lot of golf. A lot of golf being talked about all the time. And it
Oh,
was
yes.
fun to watch.
Oh, yes. We are very excited to talk about this. Michael, why don't you give the listeners an update on your marshmallow mouth? Have you been cured yet? Can you talk this week?
Yeah, I feel good. Mouth feels much better. Last week was a grind. This week should be easier, that's for sure.
Wisdom teeth are gone. Michael is a new man. Let's do this. And as always, we have our third, but definitely not least co-host. We have Timmy O'Reilly, the Irish Chooch. Timmy, how you doing today?
Oh, I am good, ready to get going. We finished up one major this year. We got 3 left. Here we go. Mike, glad your mouth's okay. And even though your wisdom teeth are gone, I've got a feeling you still got a lot of wisdom left in you. So let's get this thing rolling.
Look at there.
Preach.
Look at that. That was absolutely wonderful. Notice how Timmy said we have one major down. That's right, all you Players Championship nonsense people. One major down, not 2, just 1. It's only 4 majors.
That's a good point, Tim. I love the fact that we still have 3 majors left. That's the Masters just keeps it rolling. Once you get to like the start of the 4th major, you're like, man, golf season, it's coming to a close. But we're right in the beginnings and getting to the thick of it.
Exactly. I am so excited to talk about this weekend's unbelievable event that was the April Masters. We were no longer in a November Masters. The course was not super soft. This was how Augusta National was supposed to be played. And Hideki Matsuyama coming out, having a really strong week, and being able to win the tournament by 1. An absolutely unbelievable event for us golf lovers, an absolutely amazing tournament for the Masters. And it really showed just how hard Augusta is supposed to be played at a time like this. You know, no more are the days of Dustin Johnson going 20 under and making the course look easy. No more is Bryson DeChambeau going to go out there, talk about how it's actually a par 67 for him. That's right, Bryson. We haven't forgotten about that, you big jerk, you. We're never going to forget about that, disrespecting Augusta National like that. But overall, I felt as though it was a really good event. And like Mike said, the drama wasn't there until out of nowhere, we had a tournament with about 3 holes left to go. So, Mikey, I don't know if you want to start, Timmy. If you want to start, just let's have a nice little free flowing day today, boys.
Ooh, we had a wisp. There was a wisp on my favorite little hole there in Augusta, Georgia, Firethorn, where all Hideki Matsuyama had to do was say, if I keep this dry, the tournament's mine. He hits a shot that goes over the green. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know whether it was adrenaline. Who wouldn't have adrenaline pump through their veins when in that situation? Flies it over the green, rolls off the back into the 16th water. He had to take that ball and basically he went in the water. He had to stay dry. And it looked like Schauffele from the bunker was about to hole out for eagle. And just like that, it could have been, a 3 or 4 shot swing. If Xander makes that, Hideki misses that, the chip, and, he goes over the green back into the 15th water. So right then there was a wisp of some sort of competition. And that's exactly what the tournament needed. Obviously, we'll talk about what happened on the next hole, but Mike, I don't know what you thought about the 15th hole. Or
That
Brendan, tell
Xander
me what
shot
you
was
think about the 15.
so freaking close. Those guys behind Xander from the bunker, the green side bunker there on 15, their reaction was priceless. Like they thought it was going in, and they just crumbled. And Xander, oh, Xander was so close, and there was a glimmer of hope there. And then 16, he even says he hit a perfect shot. He thought he hit it great, which I'm happy about. You know, like he thought that hit on 16 from the tee was where he needed to put it, and it took a hard bounce left into the pond, and Xander gave you that glimmer for that he'd never followed through, and that's what we were rooting for partially. I mean, I was really excited to see Matsuyama, like, and I didn't want to see him fold and give it away. He made bogey on 15, right? He didn't make
Bogey
double.
on 15,
I mean,
bogey on 16.
that's a winner. That's but not making double there. Like not putting it in the water and not making double. That's
No, we had saw
he didn't play great golf down the stretch, but he played well enough, and he did enough before, and I'm so happy for him.
I completely agree there. We had saw earlier in the day Billy Horschel, our interesting friend who sometimes we root for and sometimes we don't. He did the same exact thing. He smacked a 3-wood on 15, and it just rolled straight through into the water, and he ended up making double because what he did the exact same thing that Matsuyama did, except he overhit his par putt, quote unquote. He overhit his par putt and ended up making double, whereas Matsuyama got it right where he needed it to, and then had really, really good touch on that 15th hole just to get it right there. But I will say, like, that 16th hole, I heard that shot and I was immediately like, oh, this could be close. This could be good from Schauffele. And he even said it. He was like, it just got caught up in the wind. And when it gets caught up in the wind like that, you saw it have a bad bounce, literally 6 inches closer. That thing's bouncing right there. Might go a little bit closer, but at worst, he's 10 to 15 feet away for a birdie putt. Whereas Matsuyama, and then that would have put so much more pressure on Matsuyama, because you saw what Matsuyama did. He clubbed up and he was like, this is just going over. Like, I don't care. This is just getting over. I just want it to be dry. I don't have to get it close. We're just getting it over. And he even bogeyed that. He 3-putted that hole. So, but I think if Xander would have gotten it there, it would have been closer. And to be honest, that triple bogey, like, that kind of took a little bit out of it. But Will Zalatoris coming out of nowhere still and hitting those 2 birdies within the last 4 holes, hitting that birdie on 15 and hitting that birdie on 17 to get to 9 under, put a little bit of pressure on Matsuyama.
Yeah, but I don't think Matsuyama felt any of that. I thought he just was going against Schauffele.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, Schauffele took the Fleetwood line. He put it like right at it. Fleetwood hold it on day 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that was an aggressive line. Like if you're smarter, you're going to put that a little more right. If you're going to play the perfect shot there, if you're him, it's not to take that aggressive of a line. He took a pretty aggressive line. It might have been right of the pin a little, but he should have went further right of the pin, because it just trickles down like 5 yards further. So I don't want to disagree with he hit the perfect shot, because I'm sure he felt it. He decided on it. The wind, the commentators made it clear that, and there what you saw the flag move and left. So it was just unfortunate.
They're right.
Yeah.
That does have, I mean, there is no need to go right for the flag with that pin location. But he had enough heartbreak on that hole where we don't need to where I feel bad even saying oh, he did the wrong thing. I mean, you saw it in his face. As soon as that ball goes in the water, they flash to his face, and it looks like the life just dropped out of him. And he's like, he said it in his interview afterwards. He says, I don't know what happens in these big tournaments to me, but once again, I come up short. And I just felt for him, because they say Xander's a good guy, and but not to take away anything from Hideki Matsuyama, because like Mike said, I didn't want Matsuyama to have a big collapse. I just wanted to make it close, just being a sports fan and all.
Brennan's getting his guy in there. Willie had a stud round. Willie was great. He earned a lot of a lot of respect to that 24-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Where did you guys first hear the name Will Zalatoris from? Where did you guys first hear?
This guy
right here. This guy right here. I have been on the Will Zalatoris train ever since kind of the beginning of COVID, because wasn't really doing that much. I mean, like, golf was off and stuff, so I was kind of watching like old golf and like obviously other old sporting events too. But also, like, I was watching like old Corn Ferry events from last year, and it was just like Will Zalatoris just out there being an absolute boss. I was like, oh, this kid could be good. And he ended up, they didn't do the 25 this year, so he didn't automatically get his PGA Tour card, but he got into a ton of events, one which was the US Open, which, because he finished tied for sixth there, he got into the Masters. So that right there, I mean, without him even getting into the US Open, he wouldn't have been there. So being able to just see that, and being able to see like this kid coming out of Wake Forest, having 1 year on the Corn Ferry Tour, making nothing, like literally making nothing. And then having an unbelievable US Open where he finishes T6 and brings home probably, 400 grand, 500 grand, then finishing second alone at the Masters and pocketing like a $1.5 million check. Like, yeah, not only is he good for life, but like, it just shows that he's going to continue to want more. And I am so excited for him that I can't wait for May now. I can't wait for the PGA. Well, here's the thing with Will Zalatoris too. He doesn't have PGA Tour status right now. So none of this counts towards his FedEx Cup points. So he has 0 FedEx Cup points. How awful is that?
That's like incredible.
So basically I think what it is he's guaranteed a spot on the 2021-2022 tour right now. Like, that's basically what it is, because he got conditional status. So it basically makes him like a guarantee to get his 2021-2022 PGA Tour card. But if he doesn't win this year, he doesn't get into the FedEx Cup playoffs, and none of his points count. So that's brutal, because he'd be like a top 10 guy right now, or not, maybe not top 10, but he'd be up there. Like, he would be like probably like 15th, 16th. Like, I'd take him. I think he's great. I love Will Zalatoris. So it's brutal for him right now to like still have to go out there and try and chase his first win in order just to keep on tour for the rest of the year. But he'll be here for we'll get into the RBC Heritage a little bit later, but he'll be here next week. He will be at the PGA Championship. He'll be at the British Open now, or the Open, sorry to all of our English and Scottish listeners. If you guys ever come around, the Open, sorry about that. He will be at the Open because of his Masters. Like, this opens up so many doors for him.
It's kind of cool too, because you got a guy fighting for his card, so he's going to be around every weekend. Mm-hmm. So not weekend, but every week. So you're gonna tune into that tourney. I mean, he's great for the game of golf. If you were listening on Thursday, you heard Jim Nantz say that Tony Romo, he's obviously close with Romo because he's always in the booth with Romo. Mm-hmm. He's like, Romo played with Will in something, I don't even know, but
the Corn Ferry Tour event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Romo and Steph Curry play in like random Corn Ferry Tour events. I don't know why they're allowed to, but like, I think they do. I think they both have like amateur status and they get like an exemption or whatever, but
yeah,
also takes away from a guy. Yeah, exactly. But it also takes away a spot from a kid who's like trying to grind, like, a Joel Damon type who's like trying to grind on that tour in order to get to the PGA. But I digress. We won't talk about that anymore. Continue with your statement, Michael.
Yeah, no, Romo said that when he played with him, he was like 2000th in the world or something. And Romo back then said, this kid's top 20. Like, that was a statement that Nance said on Thursday. So that really kind of catches your attention.
Yeah, that was 18 months ago, right? So he was just out of college. 22-year-old kid. Like, that's some impressive stuff, man, to be compared by that for with a guy like Tony Romo who's good at golf and like plays with some of the
Romo's
best in
smart.
the world.
Romo's smart as hell.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Will Zalatoris to come in T2 in the Masters and not get anything. Obviously, he gets a huge paycheck for sure.
Enormous.
But as far as like points towards like the end of the tour championship and everything like that, I mean, good for him. But I mean, come on, man, give that man some points. You just finished T2 at the Masters, his first Masters ever, by the way, and on lightning fast greens. To not know the greens, to not know how fast they usually are. I mean, hell of a performance down the stretch, solid. He wasn't wavering at all, and just good for him. Good for him.
Not even tied for second. He finished solo second.
Solo second. Sorry, what did I say? T for second? Solo second. Holy. So Brendan, by the way, you are like a scout. We should give you some scout money or something, Will Zalatoris. People should be coming to you for scouting advice. I mean, good call on Will Zalatoris.
I know. Next guy, Taylor Pendreth. Remember his name, Canadian. Pretty nasty. Actually made the cut at the US Open, I think, this year. Another one of those 5 guys who made it because there was no Corn Ferry 25. I think he won't be at the PGA, I don't believe, but I think he could be another guy. He's a little bit older, though. He's 27 or 28. There's a local kid down here in Beaufort County too who's been really good recently, and he played for Clemson. And obviously you got Doc Redman. Like Doc Redman already has a name on tour because, finished 2 years ago, second at the Rocket Mortgage, but like because of his injury crisis and him coming back now, I can see him having another breakout year this year too. So I'm excited for him. But yeah, I won't go too much into my other Corn Ferry Tour guys because we got to save it for later when we bring it back up and I'm just like, hey, remember this name. But,
no peeking.
Maybe I'll take your Lonto Griffin picks more seriously now.
Man, we got to get him. Might be our.
He's still a Duff daddy. He's a Duff daddy.
Oh my God, he missed the cut this week too, and I was so sad about it. I was like brutal. Also, this was the second. I know we're getting a little off topic from here, but this was the second year where it's no longer top 50 or 10 within the leaderboard. It is now just top 50, which makes it the most exclusive cut on the PGA Tour. I still don't know how I feel about it. I was curious because luckily it was 10 shots like on the dot, so it wasn't different. But I mean, you have 88 guys, number one, like that's pretty impressive to even get into the field. And then you have that small of a cut. So you go from 88 to 50 guys, and this year it was 54. Shout out Adam Scott finishing plus 11 for 54 out of 54. We love you, bud. But having that exclusive of a cup.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go for it.
Anyone see his ruling where he barely addressed the ball on 15 behind the green and the ball like rotated a centimeter and he got penalized and then he chipped it back into the front pond. He made like a big number there.
Yeah, I think that's how he got to plus 11.
That also happened with Abraham Answer too. Abraham Answer with the little couple of grains of sand moved out of the way on the backswing and no one noticed it. And then boy, that high definition camera really screwed the pooch.
He almost missed the cut. Right? He almost missed the cut because of that. Because it was on Friday, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he went from even to plus 2, I think, or plus 1 to plus 3. Like that almost cost him missing the cut.
And he didn't know that. He didn't it was a camera that caught it, right? He didn't admit it.
No, because it was a 2-shot penalty at the end of the round because he signed an incorrect score that it was a non-voluntary incorrect scorecard or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? Like some crazy rule, which we'll get into Matthew Wolff later, actually getting DQ'd. But we want to kind of continue talking about some of the unbelievable play and mostly how crazy the greens were this week. We'll start talking about everyone else who finished there too, but boy, you could tell immediately from Thursday, the brown spots on the green Screens.
A lot more brown than per usual.
They were brown
Oh, yeah.
on Wednesday.
Yeah. That was the thing. People were the pros were literally saying like, "Oh, the brown spots are out early," and and everyone knows what that means. Like that is, they purposely made those greens this week. They were like, "We are not having another Dustin Johnson 20 under this freaking tournament. We are going in. We are making the fairways, you know, we are making the fairways pristine, but we are making those greens rock solid and fast as hell." And it worked. It worked. There were some brutal. I mean, Ernie Els did like a 10 putt one, or not a 10 putt. Sorry. He did like a 6 putt one day. Like there was some crazy, crazy stuff going on just on Wednesday, never mind Thursday and Friday. So good for them.
Oh my God. And then just seeing the brown greens on Wednesday, it was like, oh, this is going to be a long week. Obviously on Saturday, Sunday, they kind of got a little better with the weather and there was a tiny bit of precipitation, but it was good to see. The only one who really went low on the first day was Jay Rose. Other than that, it was they kept the field subdued. At, you know, the best was it was -3 and down, which is great. I guess that's what you want from Augusta National. They gave you open fairways. Even if you hit the ball somewhere in the trees, you know, you can still hit a shot out of there, you know, hit a low hook or a low draw or something like that down, you know, chip up and down. But where they really get you is the greens, and that's the Masters in a nutshell. It's just tough greens and, you know, be able to putt.
100%. Those greens, and I kind of wish it didn't rain on Saturday. I feel like it did help. I just feel like it kind of gives the back of the pack a little bit of an advantage, but just those guys that are so dialed in and know that golf course so well, to have it change, and it did change. And I also wanted to, you guys mentioned Jay Rose. He goes out and shoots 7 under day one, and I mean he's a pretty well-established, crafty golfer, and just goes to show you how great of a round that was. You know, like that was like he obviously was dialed in, and he obviously didn't break par the rest of the week. I mean, incredible.
I'm never not gonna pick Jay Rose for another Masters in picks, because when I think about it, when Jordan won, who was in second?
Justin Rose.
When Sergio won, who just barely lost?
Justin Rose in a playoff. He
is time and time again a contender at the Masters. Why do we forget about him? How can we forget about Jay Rose? I mean, hats off to him. He continues to play well at the Masters. Sorry it didn't work out for him, but yeah, I don't know why he's overlooked, but to shoot 7 under on day one when everyone else was not, I mean, good for him.
It's kind of funny to listen to listen to like the commentators and broadcasters and analysts, and like they just always project like these guys. They even said Leishman, like Leishman's always there, and Leishman's, you can just expect him to put on a 44 long. Like they were just like, I mean, Leishman is always there, but like they're always just, it's the hype is. I like Mark Leishman too. He's a good golfer. I know Brendan slighted him last week, but I think he's a guy who, if you follow him on Instagram, like he manicures his lawn like to the pristine. Like his lawn looks like Augusta National. Like guarantee it. He has all the equipment. Always out there, is always riding his mower. But no, I mean, yeah, just Mark and Jay Rose, and Mark's never won a major though, right?
No, he has not.
Jay Rose won the U.S. Open. That was a gutsy win. That was a great win.
2013 over Jason
Marion,
Day and
right?
Phil Mickelson. Mm-hmm.
Marion.
Oh, Phil Mickelson, brutal. Always finishing in second place in the U.S. Open. Gosh darn. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, Justin Rose, 7th place again, another top 10 in the Masters. That is his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th top 10 in Masters during his career. The issue with Justin Rose is that he is great, but he misses a cut pretty much every year at one of the majors. And then everyone's like, well, that came out of nowhere. It's like, no, he misses a cut every year at one of the major championships. You just got to guess which one he's not going to miss the cut. You just got to guess which one he's going to miss the cut at, and then you're good for the rest of them. But he has been, he's slow and steady. He is a very, very good golfer and finishing in 7th place, like at 40 years old. I'm impressed. I really do like Justin Rose a lot. Kind of going back into finishes too, like Jordan Spieth coming back after a big win in Texas. Everyone's saying, okay, is Jordan like truly going to be back this week? Finishes T3 with Xander and has a great final day.
And Jordan Spieth, he did what he needed to do to let us know that he's back, because he played great at a course he plays great at. And then that's the name I like to see on the leaderboard at Augusta National. He's back, at least for the time being. Let's hope this continues. Love having him.
And Timmy, you mentioned it. He's going for all 4 in the next one, and he's prime right now. So you just would not be surprised.
Michael, are you hinting at a little grand salami over here?
Kiowa too, right? It's at
Yep,
Kiowa.
Ocean Course in Kiowa, so
That's
right near
sweet.
Charleston.
That is sweet.
It's not gonna play a lot like the Masters. Actually, it plays a lot like Harbortown, and I'm very surprised that a lot of guys are skipping Harbortown this week, because I would have thought, like, okay, on the ocean, little bit of a links course. Harbortown's not as much, but there's only 2 or 3 holes right on the ocean. But at the same time, like, plays very similarly. Spot course, rough, like very narrow fairways. I would have thought more guys would be here this week, but then again, it's the week after the Masters, so I don't blame them. But really happy about Jordan getting in there on that top 5. And then, of course, we have the round of the day on Sunday. Jon Rahm coming in, shooting a 6 under 66, shot 72 all week. 6 under 66, snuck into the top 5 by the hair on his chinny chin. Tied it up with Mark Leishman right there for a top 5 finish. I love Jon Rahm. I am a big Jon Rahm guy. I love it when he gets angry and starts throwing clubs everywhere. I find it hilarious. How about taking home a top 5 finish? Just having his baby earlier in the week too. Like, it's unbelievable.
Papa,
Dude, I don't know. You would not expect, if you, like, he's so tightly wound, and he had a kid like 2 days ago, and you'd think he'd be a little bit more, like, I don't know. He's just so serious, and it's just kind of, I can't relate to it. It's just not, I don't know. He was playing from way back, so he had no pressure. So he won and shot a 6 under on Sunday. Great round, but no pressure. You're not going to win it. You can't look at it like he kind of backdoored his way in. But good for him. He did have a kid. I'm not rooting for him, but I'm not rooting against him. I just don't love Jon Rahm.
I like his interviews now, though. It seems like he's happier, and I do like that. He has like a big grin on his face, which I like to see. And maybe this will change his on-course antics, and when he realizes bigger picture what's important, now having a child and everything like that, which I kind of like Rahm more, to disagree with like the Rahm thing. So I'm kind of rooting for him now, which is that'll be my big stance of the day. I like Jon Rahm now.
To be fair, like, pretty much every good Spanish golfer we've ever had has always had a temper. Seve had a temper. Sergio. Like, Jon Rahm, I think, makes Sergio look tame compared to what Sergio's tempers used to be like. And now we got Jon Rahm. So it's basically just like, if you're a really good golfer from Spain, you're going to have a temper. So
Sergio smiles more than Jon Rahm, though.
Now he does.
Now,
not when he was 26, 27 and trying to beat Tiger when they were both in their prime.
I'd smile too if I had finally got a green jacket.
Exactly. Like ridiculous. Oh, Michael. It's okay.
Wait. Are we I don't even know if this is what we were going to be talking about. But speaking of tempers, can we talk about the stiff we talked about a couple weeks ago and his temper tantrum on the course, William Horschel?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? I've never seen anything like that. To know that you have cameras on you and everything like that, and he's like slamming every single club. He's like, I don't know. I was so on Billy Horschel then, and now I was like, all right, Billy,
I didn't see this. What happened?
Was it round 4?
Or
was it the third round?
Round 3 or 4, yeah. And he hit a bad shot. Like, I mean, he wasn't even close to like in contention or whatever. Hit a bad shot. And all day he's been talking to himself. He's doing the Billy Horschel thing, like,
oh, Billy. Yeah.
Billy, like sarcastically laughing, like every time he hits a ball, like, kind of like a little like a screw loose kind of thing. Like, and then he finally hits a shot and he takes every club out of the bag, slams it back down, takes another one, slams it back down. Like, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. And I was Billy Horschel.
Is this another time to throw in Tin Cup?
Oh,
Kevin
man.
Costner breaks oh shit.
No, you're good.
All right. Well, you guys, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it,
Oh no, I know. Don't worry. We will do an entire review in the off season just on Tin Cup. Like, we will just have a Tin Cup episode so Mike can go bonkers about it. It'll be 15 minutes long and Mike will be the only one talking, but we will have that episode just for you guys. No, I agree. I mean, Horschel did the same thing when he missed the cut at the 2015 US Open. Like, when Chambers Bay was in very bad shape, like everyone agrees how terrible shape Chambers Bay was for 2015, but he was out there doing like the, ooh, saying how terrible the greens were and doing all that and throwing a temper tantrum. Yeah. Like, sometimes golfers just throw temper tantrums. So, it happens. I'm not surprised it's Billy Horschel because Billy Horschel does it more often than other golfers do. But yeah, Horschel does have a little bit of a temper too, which sucks, but hey, it's okay. Not to take a damper for the rest of them. We did have some really interesting finishes this week. I mean, Webb Simpson, Siwoo Kim, and 47 going on 48-year-old Stuart Sink finishing tied for 12th at 2 under par. Webb was kind of like, I thought was going to be a dark horse this week just because the course plays really well to him. He had he won Harbour Town last year, but like, he'd been having a really good year. And I thought he could be one of those guys that just kind of breaks through this week. He ended up not. But the biggest thing is Stuart Sink having a rejuvenated year. Felt like he was just waiting until he turned 50 to go on the Champions Tour. Goes out, wins the opening event of the year out in California. God, I forget the name of it, and this is terrible. This is absolutely awful for me. I feel horrendous. Goes out and wins the Safeway Open. Beats Harry Higgs by 2 strokes at the beginning of the year. So he gets his PGA Tour. He gets his exemption back for 2 years on tour. Gets to play every event for 2 years on tour with that victory. Comes back, plays decently at the Players, I believe, as well, and then does this T12. Not bad for a 47-year-old. I would take it at 47.
You get to play every event on tour. I mean,
he's coming down here where he's won not once but twice as well. So he'll be here next week too. Dark horse.
What's his value on DK?
He's low right now still. Last week he was like 6,400. It was crazy. Also, wow. Daily Fantasy.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
DF.
Daily Fantasy, not DK. DF. We saw Phil and Justin Thomas also have kind of up and down days, finishing even. Phil had a really good fourth final day, I think. And kind of rounding those out too. We had Abe Answer, former 2-time champion Bubba Watson, who he is not my favorite, but that's okay. And Cameron Champ, second Masters, made the cut. T26 with a 1 over. Not bad for him. I like Cameron Champ. I think Cameron Champ is great.
How can you know?
Exactly. You know, he was there Thursday morning with Lee Elder. He was able to watch all the opening drives, and you know, like he said in the documentaries, it was a thing where he mentioned that because of Tiger Woods, he thought he could play golf. Tiger Woods said because of Lee Elder, he thought that he could go out and play in the Masters. So really great stuff from Cameron Champ. And now we get to, once again, the most divisive player in golf. Mr. I'm going to turn this into a par 67. Mr. would have been plus 30 if that would have happened. Finishing in T46 at plus 5. Bryson DeChambeau going out, just being a baby all the time on the last day, just being annoying, you know, not letting the cameras near him or anything, spitting and almost hitting himself with his spit, which was hilarious. I just don't know. Like, he makes it so hard to root for him, and I don't think I can. Like, I think I might be officially like, no more there's good Bryson and bad Bryson. I might just be like, there's only bad Bryson now.
Because he's so interesting. I want to be like, all right, let's watch him. I hope he does it. But then it's also in human nature when someone says, like Bryson, I figured out this course, my game plan's set, I have this down to a T like no one else has ever had this down to any T. I'm going to shoot 67. It's human nature when someone says they have something figured out and they don't succeed, for them to be like, no, you didn't have it. You didn't have it. And I guess he didn't have it. And Bryson, you didn't prove anything. And by you saying you're going to shoot, you know, you're playing a par 67, it doesn't prove anything. Just go out and do it. And it just looks bad. It just looks bad, Bryson. Sorry, bud.
Especially when he thinks he figured it out after Friday's round, and then he goes out and stinks and just has
poops the bed.
Absolutely
poops the bed.
I thought I was rooting for not that I was rooting for him to do bad, but I wanted Mike's call to be correct. Him missing the cut.
When I saw him around the cut line, I was definitely like kind of rooting for him to miss the cut. I mean, if he's not atop the leaderboard, he's no good to me. So miss the cut. I mean, he's always, if he's in contention, it's great drama. And it's I mean, did you see his drive on 18? How far that thing went?
Yeah, 375 yards.
Last hole, the last day, he just unleashed it all, and it carried the bunkers and hopped like 40 yards.
Oh my God. Hey, we didn't talk about, so I'm in the bathroom watching the last day. I'm in the bathroom. I put the thing on pause. My buddy put it on pause for me. I get text from you guys saying, did you see that club twirl? Did you see that club twirl? And I'm like, what is going on with this club twirl? So I run downstairs. I'm like, we gotta press play. And boy, did those texts deliver. That club twirl was sensational. And then, you know what made it better? Everyone does a club twirl. You know what made it great is that snapback right after. So he hits the shot and he snaps the club back and then he does the twirl. It's just like, that's the last shot he needed to hit, because anything could have gone wrong. He could have into the woods. You know how that goes. That was the last shot he needed to hit. And boy, did he pipe that shot. That must have been, he said afterwards that was the most important shot of the day.
Yes. Yes, he did. Hideki, that club twirl, I had to rewind because people I was watching with didn't see it. And I was like, this is a subtle club twirl, but like that just, you know, everything that week was clinched in that moment. And he piped that thing right down the center, and the rest is history.
Yeah. I mean, great, unbelievable. You know, I just don't know where to go with Bryson. I was also kind of rooting that he would miss the cut. I'm not going to lie. I really wanted him to. Like, really, really wanted him to. Speaking of missing the cut, though, we had so many players so many notable like legitimate notable players we had missed the cut. We had Dustin Johnson, returning champion, guy who going in was probably odds favorite, like at least, if not more. Pretty much everyone had him in their lineups. Everyone was betting on him. It was crazy. Rory, who you two said was going to win this year.
No, we didn't say we was going to win it. We wanted him to win it.
Missed the cut. Brooks Koepka missed the cut. I'm not surprised by that one. He's coming back from an injury, but everyone was just I was looking forward to watching him, and he just kind of crapped the bed a little bit, which I don't blame him. He's coming back from that injury, so not good. Matt Kucher, very surprising. Matt Kucher rarely misses cuts in major championships. He doesn't usually, go high in major championships, but he rarely misses the cut in a major, and he missed this year. Jason Day had a terrible 2 rounds. Awful. +9. The day train was not there. No one was aboard it. It was a rough time for him. Sergio, same thing, missing the cut. And then one of our favorites on this podcast, the finest aged whiskey in all of golf.
I thought you're picking on me, man. I know my DK lineup sucked.
Daily fantasy lineup.
How many do you have left at the end of the week, Mike?
The winner. I feel like you had.
No, my guy was Spieth. I made that clear that I thought Spieth was going to win it. I had Spieth. I had Matsuyama. Yeah.
Oh, you did. That's right. That's
I
right.
had Hideki, and then I might have had one other guy who made the cut.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was a brutal cut. Like the amount of big names. Again, it's a very exclusive tournament. You're always going to get, when you only have 88 participants, you're always going to get big names that miss the cut. But I felt like this year was harsh, like very harsh on the players who missed the cut. And we also had a really interesting thing where Matt Wolff just, put the wrong score down and got disqualified. That was kind of crazy. That was weird. You get a reputation for that now too. Like he was a big fan favorite. Like I don't know if he's going to be as popular going forward now.
Does he need a calculator, or did he actually think he shot a better score?
No, it's not like his intention was not to cheat. Obviously, Matt Wolff's not like, oh, I think I can squeak by here by putting this number down. Because he knows that there's they got scorekeepers, they got people following around. They got the other player who puts down the number. Obviously, it was a mistake. So, yeah, maybe he does need a calculator. I don't know. But his intention wasn't to cheat. So I don't know if that'll I don't think it'll mess with his reputation a lot. I mean, how many other people put down wrong scores? Not many. But his intention wasn't to cheat, which I'm
just surprised they went the full DQ. He missed the cut already. He was 11 over, you know what I mean? He was just having a horrible day. So maybe they were just like, hey, can't pass this in, bud. DQ. So we'll see. But I mean, it was just a great week. I was a little sad that some of the guys who missed the cut didn't make it. I was a little sad that Bryson made the cut, but it happens. Overall, a great Masters. Drama did come later. Usually it comes around Amen Corner. Didn't come until hole 17, hole 15 this time around. But overall, great Masters, an unbelievable event for Hideki Matsuyama becoming the first male Japanese golfer to win a major. Japan's already pretty golf crazy. They kind of follow the American sports that they follow some of the American sports. They are big into baseball and they're big into golf. So those two very big sports in Japan, and having a male player, there have been 2 female players win major championships on the LPGA, but having a male player win and having probably their most famous male player win as well with Hideki Matsuyama, big event for them, and I'm really happy to see it.
Hey, back to the Wolff situation. So he sucked. He wasn't going to make the cut. He made like a quadruple bogey on a hole. And on 17, I think it was probably on Friday, he put down that he made a lower score than bogey. So he was probably just checked out. He probably thought he made par. He's like, yeah, that's probably par, but he made bogey. And I don't slight his reputation at all. He's no Patrick Reed to me, but
Whoa.
but
Jeez.
yeah, I mean, he probably was just checked out, I think.
I agree. And as far as like Matsuyama being the he's probably the biggest male athlete to come out of Japan since Ichiro, and that's a personal opinion, but I mean, Ichiro is probably one of the biggest to ever come out of Japan, because you're right, Brendan, they golf, baseball, and basketball too. But they, as far as Hideki wins, I'm not a big political guy, but I just think with all that's going on with the quote unquote, the Asian hate because of coronavirus like this that's going on and everything like that, I think it is. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better person to win as far as, advancing the world to, stop that's all that, or what's wrong with the world right now. And, it's just a little big step. So that's my political statement for the evening, and good for Hideki, and good for, it's a good thing that he won, and I like it a lot.
10 years pretty much to the day of when he won the low amateur at the Masters too. I mean, that's for a 29-year-old who hasn't won at a time like this. You're so right, Tim. I mean, he needs a major, never mind a Masters. Like, that's like, I have a Masters, I have a green jacket. You see him sitting in the airport by himself, just green jacket on the freaking, just unreal stuff.
Crazy.
Like, but in a time where you're so right, where just people need to be brought together more, and Japan's never got one, and this is just terrific.
Absolutely. It's like Greg Norman winning in the 80s, not at the Masters, but winning US Opens, Adam Scott winning at the Masters in 2013, Gary Player back in the day, like winning Seve Ballesteros, huge name as well, winning a major brings that country more and more into the golf world. And now Hideki going into, golf lore by being the first Japanese male player to win a major in a place where they already have an incredible infrastructure for golf, place where Srixon is, the number one, Japanese is a Japanese company. They already have the infrastructure to build up a big golf, sorry. They already have the infrastructure to be able to continue to grow the game in Japan, and with PGA Tour Asia around and the Australian Tour as well, I can't see it going anywhere but up too. So overall,
SMTUF. It's the ticker. Sumitomo Rubber Industries, company that owns Srixon. In case anyone wants to,
I think they own Dunlop too, right?
It's not yeah, they do. It's not available on Webull. You can't buy that stock on Webull, I'll tell you that. But hey, love that. I mean, those logos. He had Indeed on there. He had Lexus. He's getting around.
He had everything known to man on there, which is great. It's like most golfers have now, and it's perfect. I love it.
Soak it in, baby. Soak that ish in. I mean, how much he had his sunglasses on backwards the whole round, covering Cleveland Golf. I don't know if any of you guys caught that, but Cleveland Golf must have been like, you gotta be kidding me. He's gonna win the Masters. And I can't even tell you if it was Cleveland Golf, because honestly, I don't think he put his glasses on once and they didn't move. I didn't look at his hat that closely every picture, but just great.
No, I didn't catch that, but that's kind of funny. That's pretty funny.
No wedges for you, Hideki Matsuyama, anymore. Oh man. But hey, great week. Now gets into the time where we talk about how we did in our daily fantasy groups. Usually you guys get to laud this over me. It's usually I'm the one that stinks. You guys do. You guys usually win a couple bucks here and there. Your boy.
Congrats to the kid.
Oh, your boy had a fantastic week, and he had a guy that missed the cut too, Daniel Berger. Around the same price as Hideki Matsuyama, by the way. So we could have done a nice little switcheroo, and I would have been a millionaire. But
Berger got a lot of hype from this podcast last week. We were even talking him up at the championship dinner next year, serving burgers. I mean, he let us down.
He let us down hard. He let us down so hard. Oh man, Daniel Berger, Meisterberger. Come on, bud. He'll be here this week though, so I'm excited to see him too. But overall, just great week for all of us. I wish you boys could have been in the money with me this week, but we'll try it again this upcoming week.
Brendan, how much is there a way for us to see if you had Matsuyama in where Berger was? Is there a way to know where you would have finished?
Yeah. So like I could have done not like if I knew where he'd finish, but basically I can go into the app that will not be named because they don't sponsor us.
Add his total to your total and just figure out where you would have been slotted.
Exactly. So I could do recents. Oh boy, something's up. Yeah. So I think Hideki Matsuyama ended up getting like 125 daily fantasy points or something crazy like that, you know? So I would have been, and Daniel Berger had like 20.
You know how many points you had?
I do.
How many do you had? Or how many? Whoa. How many did you have?
You sound like me.
I was just about to say, if we have any Newfoundland freaking people who listen to this podcast, that was a little Newfoundland English right there, just mixing up all the words and just saying go. No, I don't. My internet's being super slow right now.
The $1 million winner was 571.50, so 571.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Matsuyama scored 118. So if you had, say, 450, you would have been prime. You would have been right around. But I mean,
where were you, Bren? Come on, what's that smart?
So I can probably look up your username on mine.
So the guy who won had 571.5, right?
Yeah, and Matsuyama was 118.
Mm-hmm. So
Danny.
But
Daniel Berger had 25.5, and my total was 476.50.
What?
So
if I would have had
98,
I would have. Jesus, Michael.
I mean, I said Matsuyama. I didn't want him to win, but if he won me $1 million, I'll definitely take a win. But
it's only adding 92.5, so it's 476.
You would have won a good sum. I would guess
468.5. If we look back here, I would have won about between $100,000 or $25,000.
Yeah, that's in a vacuum though, because everybody else who had Daniel Berger, you know, like I don't know.
No, I agree completely. But yeah, having Schauffele, Spieth, Zalatoris, Cameron Smith, and Ryan Palmer. I also would have had more money, and I could have taken Brian Harmon, then I would have won the Mega Million. Then I would have won.
Timmy, how'd the mom and pop shop do, Tim?
Great. The only one who really screwed the pooch was Mr. Burgermeister.
Meisterberger screwed the pooch on all of us.
He was like the corporate, the most corporate, or the most like franchised out of all your guys.
That son of a bitch cost me the most money, and he scored 25 points. The mom and pop never fails, and they still don't. You know, in real life and in our fantasy picks, mom and pop always prevails.
Oh man!
Damn it, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel. Oh man! But luckily for Daniel Berger, he does have a chance to redeem himself this week, and it is upcoming. It is the hometown.
Are you going?
Hometown, I guess. Oh,
are you going?
Oh,
are
yeah.
You? Hell
Thursday,
yeah.
Saturday, Sunday. I will be there.
All 3 days. Well, 3 days out of 4.
3 out of the 4. Yeah. Friday sold out, so we couldn't get it. the RBC Heritage.
Brendan, I got it. Can I throw something in here real quick?
You can.
Just,
So take away. Hold on. Go.
Yeah, I mean, you're just proving that you're such a golf guy, and I just wanted to throw just a piece of history back at us. I mean, we were score marshals at Fleet Boston, and you can see that signature right there, folks. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's Arnold Palmer, and I remember that. And I have another hat with Crenshaw, and I mean that was just a great time we had back
back in the day.
back
Unbelievable.
many years ago.
Timmy, are you ready for the greatest segue of all time? Hold on to your butts. Guess who won the first RBC Heritage? Arnold Palmer. Bam. Back on the RBC Heritage bandwagon, baby.
Wow, way to bring that one back home there, Brent.
I steer you off the track. You bring us right back, baby.
And that's why he's in charge, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now.
Hey, Brent, I meant to ask you a question.
Yes.
Hilton Head in Harbortown, that's where Bryson really did his debut of hitting the shit out of the ball, right?
That was at Colonial. Not Colonial. That was at the tournament before.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. So that was actually the tournament that Daniel Berger won. So where Colin Morikawa actually, that was like Colin Morikawa's coming out, a little bit of a coming out, but he like it was the incredible lip, and then Daniel Berger comes back the next week and gets third place here at Harbortown, where Webb Simpson ended up winning. Actually scored the highest ever. He broke the course record, 22 under. Great. It was a really good tournament last year. Obviously, there were no fans because it was literally dead smack in the middle of the pandemic. But I mean, it was nice that it was in the summer, so we got to see a lot of guys. Justin Thomas was here. Justin Thomas usually doesn't come. Jordan Spieth was here. That was Jordan Spieth's first time playing the event, like ever, I think. So yeah, like kind of, it was interesting having all these different guys, and it definitely showed in the leaderboard too. But it's a pretty historic tournament. But the thing is now is that since the 80s, it's been played the week after the Masters. So you do get usually the guy who wins the Masters doesn't come. Bryson DeChambeau was supposed to come and he dropped out. Joel Damon actually dropped out as well, which I was really surprised at. I'm pretty sad about that. Ricky Fowler not coming. That was a big one for me. I was like, dude, you need all the points you can get right now. Like, why are you skipping this tournament? What are you thinking? Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, how is Ricky not playing in this? But he's not. But they still have some really, really good guys. It's a lot of guys who live in Sea Isle, Georgia. So like that whole crew of guys. So Brian Harmon will be here. Matt Kucher's going to be here. Kevin Kisner's going to be here. Davis Love III, who has won the event 5 times, he'll be here. So it's a really fun tournament to go to. I love it. It's a good party. It's a really fun time. I think
you said something about the field not being good like earlier today, or I forget. And I looked obviously to go and insert my lineup, and I was actually surprised. I mean, it's a pretty good field.
It's a very good field. Because you get all the Canadian guys because it's sponsored by RBC too. So we get Corey Connors coming down. I'm a big Corey Connors guy. Adam Hadwin will be here. Dustin Johnson, it's basically like because he's an RBC guy and he's a South Carolina guy. It's in his backyard, 3 hours away from Myrtle, so he'll be here. And like I said before, Webb Simpson, like based out of North Carolina now, but he's an RBC guy, so he'll be here. It's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it. The course is in tip-top shape. I walked by today, and there were a couple just pro-am events going on. So I saw I walked by Will Gordon teeing off. That was really cool. I tried to wait. I didn't want to wave to him since he was hitting the ball, but it's a really cool event, and the course is in tip-top shape right now. And this is a tough course. Like, it's a brutal course. It is the definition of a spot course. So you have to hit the spot or else you're not gonna do well. which may be a reason why Bryson decided to go ahead and drop out this year, because he is not what I would call a good spot course guy, to say the least.
No, he's swing for the fences. Brendan, so you say it's a spot course. The only thing I remember from playing Harbor Town was playing it on Tiger Woods. I remember hitting towards the lighthouse and the spiral lighthouse. You say is it long course? I don't remember if it was long or not.
Decently long. Like it's not too long. It's not the longest course in the world. I forget the actual. Oh, sorry about that. I just hit my nice little computer. Harbor Town Golf Links. We will go ahead and check the tees.
7,099, 7,099.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a shorter course, to be honest with you.
So you were really a spot course.
71 par.
Yeah,
71 par. Okay.
Yeah, it's a spot course, and that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I really like it. The actual par for during the year kind of plays a little bit more as a par 5, but besides that, it's just one of those. I mean, the 18th hole is beautiful. It's an unbelievable hole coming in with the lighthouse in the back. Usually there's big old grandstands right around it, but this year there's not going to be as much. I just think it's a really good event, and we've been coming here since, I was 6 years old. So we've been going to the tournament once in a while. I really like it. I think it's great.
There's so many podcasts out there about different people, but no one is more of an expert of this tournament and this course who is a host of a podcast than this guy right here.
Exactly. And yes,
love to hear.
Did I break 100 the last time I played it? Yeah, I shot 99.
Attaboy.
Brandon, you make some good points too about just the comparison to the ocean course at Kiowa, similar location, and I looked it up, 7,350 versus 7,100. So I mean, it's only 250 yards longer, the ocean course, than Kiowa. So if Bryson's skipping it to save his ego and confidence, that's a mistake. I mean, he should be there trying to find out how he's going to figure out winning that next major. If he's all about golf, like you don't see him in the news about having a chick by his side or doing something fun or drinking beer and hanging with the boys. Like he's friggin' all about golf. Like what else is he doing this weekend that restricts him from being here, putting on a meathead show?
No, and it is crazy because it's like it's a much shorter course than normal, which is fine. And they got like really cool traditions. So instead of the green jacket, it's the tartan jacket. So you get a nice little plaid jacket and you get a cool little trophy. Instead of the opening tee shot on the first hole, it's actually on right close to the 18th hole. It's on the 18th hole, and they hit it into Calabogie Sound. So it's just like, and when he hits it, a cannon goes off too. It's so cool. I love it. It's a cool little event, and it's not even a little event. Like, I mean, Harbor Town's considered one of the, not, I wouldn't say a destination course, but it's a great course. And it's got for this year, obviously it's never going to be like last year where it was one of the first 3 tournaments back. So literally everyone wanted to play in it and everyone did. But I think it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to it. And I know on this part now, we go through our daily fantasy picks. So we get to pick how much money we're going to win this week. And you know how much money we're going to win this week? Probably not that much. I'm probably going to be on a big old losing streak for the rest of the year because I won at the Masters. But it's okay. We're going to do it. Did I go first last week? I did? Okay.
Yes, you did.
That's what I thought. So, Michael, you are up, my friend.
Wow. Love this because I'm literally just typed into Google 2020 RBC Heritage leaderboard. And I did not, I was on my way home from a long day today, and I put together a lineup that I thought would answer with Abraham Answer. And he came in second last year, and nonetheless, Webb Simpson came in first. And I also have him in my lineup. And I got
Wow.
Dylan Fratelli. I always think he shows up in some bigger events, and he
I
can.
think he did really well last year too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was 9 under. I'm sorry, 17 under total, 5 off the lead with Webb Simpson at 22. So that's
Mhm.
3 guys right there who did well last year: Answer and Fratelli and Simpson, and then I don't know why I picked. I honestly think when you guys got talking about Stuart Sink, like this guy Lucas Glover popped to mind, and he's another guy, obviously not as probably not as well established as Stuart Sink, but he's an older vet who's not priced too high at 7,100. So I
Carolina boy.
selected it. He is.
Yep, he went to Clemson.
Let's do it. And then Bazuden out. Is that
Christian Bezeda. No, damn it, you're taking all my picks.
Bazuden out, and then Harris English. He's I got his autograph too. I remember doing like just a clinic with him at the Travelers one day. He had to obviously. He was younger and he had to pay his dues and just put on a little clinic for local people who bought a ticket. And he's been doing well lately. He made the cut at the Masters, and I'm sure he can get around here. So that would round out my list of 6.
I like it.
that. I like that.
I like it. All right. Would you like to go, or would you like me to go?
I'll hit it. Go ahead.
Go. Okay, perfect. So my first pick, not going to be surprising, but Cameron Smith, he did miss the cut at this event last year, but he shot 1 under. Like last year was crazy how many players there were who shot. The cut was 4 under par last year at this event. It was played in June. I don't see that happening this year. It was just like it was just absolutely insane. I think it'll be a little bit lower. And I do think that our boy, or not our boy, but my boy, Cameron Smith, just finished up at the Masters again. Looking great. Love it. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to do pretty well this week. Second pick.
Brendan, the last 2 years, the winning score has been 12 under. That just goes to show you last year was kind of like an anomaly.
Yeah, 22 under par. Like what?
That's 10 strokes better than the last 2 years.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Second pick, going with Michael as well. Abraham Answer. Finished second place last year. He's had a pretty good year. I just think this could be another event where he comes in, plays well, goes out. I like it. I like him a lot. A third pick, $7,800. We're going back to one of the originals. We are picking Charlie Hoffman.
Wow.
$7,800. We
Back
are
in
Charlie
the fold.
Hoffman podcast. Besides last year, so he missed the cut last year, and he was -3 last year. So he missed the cut by 1 stroke. Besides that, he hasn't missed the cut here since 2016. He plays pretty much every year. He's usually right around the top 20 as well. So I just think it's a really good pick. And Charlie's playing probably some of the best golf of his career at age 43. Like, I just think Charlie's going to come in here and start smashing it. I also have Christian Bezeda out, just like our boy down there, Michael. 9 for 9 cuts. He's only got 1 top 10, but if he's making cuts, that's really all that matters to me. Kevin Kisner, South Carolina boy, UGA grad, usually does pretty well at this tournament. So 7 out of 11 this year. I think he's got a good chance again this year as well. And, we'll see where it goes, but another guy that got cut at -3 last year, like we know that's not going to be the cut this year. There's no chance that the cut's going to be that. So, and if it is, like, boy, oh boy, did I get that wrong. And finally, I have kind of an up-and-comer. I wouldn't totally call him an up-and-comer, but a dude who has played pretty well this year, Matt Wallace, coming off 3rd place at Valero Texas Open. Played pretty well last week too, 34th at the Masters. Hasn't missed a cut. Well, he missed the cut at the Honda at 80th, but besides that, hadn't missed the cut since the Puerto Rico Open. He's got a couple top 10s this year. I think he's going to keep it going. So let's go.
All right. So all three of us have Abe answer. I have Abe answer as well. Brendan, love the Kevin Kisner pick. He has a T2 Was it T2 last year? T2 last year. He also is not a long hitter. This is not a long course. I think it fits him well. I'm going to go with the hot man, Brian Harmon. The past 4 weeks, he's been hot. I'm just going to keep riding his train. Corey Connors, Canadian man, coming down. Hopefully represents his country well. Not a great value pick, but I had the dough to spend on him. CT Pan, baby.
2019 winner.
2019 winner, played real well at the at Jack's event, at the Bear Trap, played real well up until the end. He was the closest in contention. Matt Kucher. Now I was real hesitant to pick him. It was between him and Luke Donald. And why do I want to pick Luke Donald? First of all, five second places. 5-time second place player. And I have a soft place for Luke Donald because I bought my irons because of him.
That is the weirdest. I'm just putting it out there. That is by far and away the weirdest soft spot for a golfer ever. But at one point, and he'll never let anyone forget this, at one point he was the #1 ranked golfer in the world, and he never even came close to sniffing in a major.
Nope. But boy, could he hit an iron shot. and that's I looked up who was the best iron player on tour. They said Luke Donald. I said, what the hell does he play? They said Mizuno MP64s. I bought those things. Bada bing. That's what's in my bag. But anyway, so it's between him and Matt Kucher. And that's what I got going on. So good luck this week. Brendan, I am excited that you are down there. We have like one of our fellow representing us at a PGA Tour event for the first time since all three of us have been together. I'm excited.
We gotta get some gear. We gotta
gotta pass it out.
Seriously, right? If only. Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for it. I'm really looking forward to the event. Might be scalping tickets on Friday. Who knows? We'll see. Or not. Well, I'll be trying
That's
to
half the
get
fun.
in on. I'll be trying to get in on Friday. Dude, they were expensive, man. They were crazy this year because it's 25% capacity. So it's a super limited capacity. But I'm really looking forward to the event. I'm gonna try and get something at least around there just to see if we can do something. But
need more people at these events. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, the Masters could have hosted so many more people.
Yeah, I mean, COVID. We won't get into it, but not yet. Not yet. Once COVID goes away, we'll talk about it a little bit more.
So many people are vaccinated and not. They can get tested and go. I mean, yeah. If you're going to expose the players to that, I mean, do you think they test the players at all during Masters Week? Probably not, right? Just to
they did.
They did.
Yeah, they tested. Oh yeah, they test them pretty much every day. Yeah.
Man, as a player, I don't know. Obviously, you want fans, but imagine getting bounced from the Masters because like a fan had COVID and came in and you got it. Like that just be terrible.
Luckily, golf is a very, very socially distant sport, so that's always good.
But they're giving high fives and stuff. Like Matsuyama, like I mean, that just happens.
No, I agree. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Moving on to our second to last segment, Bogeys for the boys and girls. Bogeys for the boys and girls. Anyone else play this weekend besides me?
I played not 2 hours before we got onto this podcast.
Oh, we do.
Oh, not great.
It happens.
But my favorite part of the entire day was it started getting dark. There was no one on the course. We went to the range. We scooped up about 100 balls. We went on the first tee, which is a drivable par 4, and we just kept sending balls.
Pepper that shit.
Yeah,
Pepper.
That's the stuff I stick around for. Just
That's
what makes me fun.
That is awesome. I got my first round booked for Wednesday at 6:15 in the morning. Timmy, if you are around, I'm going to Chemawa with my friend Timmy Walsh, who, is an Attleboro native. But shout out Timmy Walsh, 1,000-point scorer, Attleboro High School, good kid. But no, going out Wednesday morning. If you're around, I'll be there. But I did want to touch on on last week's topic, which was me reaching out to golf courses and trying to get answers back. And you'd think I would have had more luck a week later, but I'm actually in a worse situation. I haven't even heard from one country club who I talked to. The new head pro said he would call me back the next day. I haven't heard from him in a week and a half. I have been too lazy and busy to call him. But secondly, I just moved to a place in Little Rumford, Rhode Island, and I live on I can see one of the front 9 pins when I pull into my driveway, Agawam Hunt Golf Course. And I reached out to them. They've actually been good in responding, but they don't have any wiggle room. Like, they will not waive, they won't allow you to spread out an initiation fee.
Ooh.
I'm trying to say I'm in a position where I'm getting married and just bought a house, and I'm having just obviously a lot of expenses and money going out. Can you help me at all? I even put in like new resident, young couple looking for a place to like have our family like be a part of for the foreseeable. And they a polite email, but just no, we can't do anything for you. So I'm
Brutal.
still in hey, I might just bounce around this summer and do what I did last year because I loved it. But at the same time, I would like a place to call home. But this will be TB continued.
Don't worry, I'll be bouncing around this summer too, because don't have the money yet to join any fancy schmancy golf club. But got to play with the new irons this weekend. So they finally came 2 months late, but they finally showed up. UPS. I had to thank Lee Westwood for sending them. Turns out I should have thanked Louis Oosthuizen because he actually made the cut. Shout out Lee Westwood. But hey, it's okay. They finally got here. Played pretty well with them. Shot an 87. I was happy with it. Hitting the ball about a club farther with these guys.
Hey.
So, oh yeah.
So what'd you get?
I got the Callaway Apex Pros.
Well, how many? Like what clubs?
I got 4 through pitching wedge, and now I'm kind of regretting the gap wedge because I have an old Cleveland gap wedge that like I love Cleveland wedges, but it's just like I can barely hit a 52 100. Like I can't really hit my 52 that well. And I got that pitching wedge, and I used to hit a pitching wedge like 115-ish. I know I don't play well with irons. I was hitting that 135.
Yeah,
like,
that's tough.
So like I don't have a club between 135 and 100 right now.
Yeah.
So we got to figure that out.
You got to learn the 52. I'm a big fan of the 52. You got to keep hitting it because it's a club you become one with over time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I use that thing everywhere.
I use my 56 everywhere.
Yeah.
I got my 60 that just sits in the bag because I have no idea what to do with it.
No idea what to do with it.
No idea.
No idea. It's an absolute travesty when you take the 60 out of the bag.
I take the 60 out and I just look at it and I'm like, nope, you're going back in, bud.
The grooves are still fresh on that bad boy, huh?
Oh yeah. No, I just think, I mean, my old set too, it was a Cleveland set. It was about, so I got it 10 years ago. And before that, it was a demo set. So like, it was about 11 or 12 years old. I think it was just dead. I think they were just dead clubs. You know, when you just get dead clubs, I think I just had dead clubs like towards the end. And I've never been the best iron hitter, but then I got my old Clevelands that were big old fatties at the back, like big old, like had some big fat backs. These ones, much smaller backs, not blades, but like much smaller backs. And I get really good contact from them. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the decision.
You're, man, I was just in, again, we're talking about budget, having tight budgets. I was just in the, like, I'm going to hit the rest, these golf clubs that I have in my trunk that I've kept in my trunk every day since probably junior year of high school. I'm going to hit them every day for the rest of my life, and I'm never going to get a new set. And then I hear you over here saying you just got a new set and you're hitting them 20 yards further, and you probably had a dead old set. And I'm like, is that me right now?
It's a thing.
Is that the excuse I'm going to pull?
Oh yeah. Always pull it. Always pull the excuse. No, I might actually order the they do like a cap wedge too, so I might just go ahead and order that from Callaway as well. But staying with the TaylorMades for the woods. Best woods in the game.
Which ones do you have?
I have the M6 for a driver. I have the Rocket Balls 1.0 for my 3-wood.
The white head on it?
Oh yeah.
I have that too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's got to go sooner or later, but it's there. And I have an M6 3 Rescue as well.
Wow.
Can I just give a shout out to Timothy O'Reilly for Bogeys for the boys and girls segment that is just becoming a well-liked topic that we're rolling with.
It is. It was all thanks to Timmy. He sent a lovely text message that was not a text message. It was a voice message. And we were all like, what, all of us technological plebeians over here being like, what is it is? But we found out what it was. And then we completely agree with it. Love talking about it. So I'm really excited. We'll be playing once I get back up north, we'll be playing a little bit more with each other too. So it'll be nice.
Come up soon.
I will.
After the tournament, of course. We got to have you down there for the tournament.
The week of May 9th, I will be back up. And then the end of that week gets a little crazy, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
We'll all be together.
I know.
On May 13th to the 16th.
Something like that. Something like that.
Playing a bunch of golf.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a lot, and I'm looking forward to it. But finally, we do have to end the show soon, but we always have to get in our one final segment. And it is a fan favorite.
We'll never skip it.
We will never skip it. It is the golfer poll. It is Chooch's golfer poll. What happens if you are new to the episode, if you are new to the channel, if you are new to the podcast? Timmy O'Reilly, the inventor of the golfer poll. So if anyone's stealing his content, stop it. Except if it's me, because I need more followers. But if anyone else is doing it, stop it right now. Timmy will ask one of his golfer polls to myself and Michael. We will answer it. Timmy will then give his correct answer, because me and Mike are usually wrong about these, but that's okay. It's fine. But yes, Timmy, the floor is yours.
You're wrong, Brendan.
Go right ahead. Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense.
This one, I got to hear your guys' answer on this one. When I play golf, I'm looking around and I play a cool hole. I'm like, man, I would like to have that hole in my backyard. My question to you is, out of any hole you've seen on TV or you have played, which hole do you want in your backyard? You can play it over and over and over and over again. Tell me what hole that is. It's a long, and I will let you guys think. I'll say what mine would be, just to let you guys, because this requires some thought.
Do you get like the like you just get the hole, like you don't get the views of say like a shoreline or like a Pebble Beach?
You get the views, baby. You can have whatever you want. Which hole do you want in your backyard? All right, so mine, I will say this. I'll switch it up. I'll go first because you guys need time to think. Think about it hard. Don't even listen to my answer. I would choose. I wish this hole was a par 5, because a par 5, I can make it. I can make it a par 5. I can make it a par 4.
Already thought of that.
All right, Bryson.
Already thought of that.
No. I mean, like I can put the tees back, forward. I want hole.
Gotta get real estate.
I want hole number 8 at Pebble Beach Golf Club. Hole number 8 is that par 4 right after the par 3, the downhill par 3. It is that. It is that one where you have to hit onto the top of the fairway, and then you have to hit down to the par.
Dude.
You can make that into a sweet par 3, or you could have it as a par 4. Oh my God, that with the cliffs and that's the one I want in my backyard. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Fun to think about, doesn't it?
Michael, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
What's the signature hole? Not the signature, but another great hole at Pebble Beach, par 5, where you got to hit it up the cliff.
Oh, that's the
I know exactly what you're talking
That's the
about. It's a
sixth hole.
flat
The sixth hole.
fairway, and then
That's the sixth hole.
Mhm.
Yep.
Six
That's like
hole. Yeah, it's a 6-hole par 5, 523. That's
Yep.
I mean, my mind, when you initially asked the question, obviously my mind went to Augusta because I just spent hours watching Augusta. And then my mind did go, you need a par 5. Like, you need a par 5. And that's why I asked the question, do you get the views? Because my mind went right to Pebble Beach number 6. And you got a beautiful tee shot into like a pretty wide open fairway, and it's really all about that second shot. I mean, do you lay up? If you're if you're playing the back tees and you're an amateur like myself, you're laying up. You're hitting driver, and then you're hitting a 9-iron, maybe even a pitching wedge, and then trying to get it 20 to 50 yards before the green, and I'll play it as a par 6. But it's a beautiful hole with beautiful views, and you just I mean, you've seen incredible shots where you got to, I mean, these pros take driver and they launch a 3-iron where they got to hit a little cut because it's a slight left to right, and you definitely don't want to, well, you could hit a draw, but it all depends on the golfer, I guess. But you definitely don't want to go well right, because you'll end up in the the Pacific Ocean. But that's where my mind went, so I'm gonna stick with that. I might ask that again, Tim, because that's a great freaking question.
I'll ask that tomorrow on TikTok. If you go over a par 5 on Pebble Beach, I would just go 18. But 18, which is another one, 18 is that's another good one. But I do like that's a tough second shot,
Tim,
Mike.
I think you can respect this, Timmy. I mean, we're such beach bums. Like, we were freaking like 18. It's kind of like a pond. Like, it's not really, it's like, I mean, it is the ocean, right?
Right.
But it's not like the 6th. That's just a different ocean. Like, when you look right, you're like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But so that view also played I don't know. That's what that view played a nice little piece in this whole thing. But yeah,
Our minds are thinking the same thing because we're on that same stretch. We're on that
and
same three-hole stretch.
It goes to show you how great Pebble is. Like, Pebble is, I mean, considered by many, like, if you, I mean, you can't play Augusta. If you're going to play a course anywhere in the US, you got to go to Pebble because you can,
And we can.
Right.
Brendan, you've had a lot of time to think. Give me something. Give me the right answer. Come on, make me squirm.
Y'all are gonna hate me for this, but I am going playing a little bit into the crowd right now. I am gonna go hole 18, Harbor Town Golf Links, one of, if not the most picturesque holes to end a tournament. It is a very long par 4. You could make it a par 5 very easily. It is beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful holes on the PGA Tour. Nick Faldo agrees with me. Jim Nance agrees with me. Yeah, an unbelievable hole coming in. In the background, you have the lighthouse, you have Harbor Town. It's just a lovely hole. It's super hard to play. It is the most spottiest of all spot, but it's so much fun. I love the course, and I think coming in on the 18th hole, it'd just be like, you can set it up as a par 3 if you really wanted to, from where the landing area is. You could set it up as a par 3 that way. You could play it as a par 5 with a little bit of an extended tee, and you could definitely play it as par 4 too.
Oh, I like that, Brendan. And I like it because you've played it. So you've been there, you've experienced this, you've experienced the triumph, and you've experienced the tribulations of this humongous long, I don't even know, there's fescue everywhere, there's water on the left, but
it's amazing. House is on the right.
House is on the right.
You don't want to go right, though.
Not mine.
And the one thing you get to look at all the time is that lighthouse. I like it. Respect the answer. Good answer, both of you guys.
Thank you, sir. Well, as always, unfortunately, podcast does have to end sooner or later. And right now it's just ending. And boy, what an unbelievable podcast we had tonight, boys. I'm so happy that you guys were able to take the time today to talk to us and talk to our listeners. hopefully we will grow. You guys have done great watching on YouTube. We're going to try and get our podcast numbers up a little bit. YouTube channel has been great. If you want to go subscribe to Duffin Up. You can find it on both mine, on the Duffin Up TikTok channel, and now on Chooch Golf's TikTok channel. That's right. That's right,
Yeah.
Google. That's right, Google. We've got my email on multiple phones right now. You stop it with your security nonsense.
We're not asking for the world, Brendan, right? We're just asking for a few listeners, a few segments. You don't even have to really listen to a whole friggin' podcast. I know they're a friggin' hour and a half. So we'll put some good content out there and enjoy different segments, different topics, and more importantly, just follow golf a little bit, play golf, like enjoy the game and being outside and the beautiful sunshine and grinding through something that you got to do by yourself and no one else can help you. And it's hard as friggin' hell because your mind is telling you to do one thing and you can't, and you continue to try and just get better. And I always tell people, you're always the worst day one. You're never going to get worse because you're always going to learn and grow and get that feel of having your left and your right hands just a feather-like feeling around the grip of the golf club and just addressing the ball and trying to hit it. And if you want to say hit it as far as you can, do that. If you want to say start from the green and work back like Tiger, do that. But it's quite enjoyable to talk about it with you too. So let's keep it going and take it home, Timbo. Hole everything, fellas. Go out
Mike,
there.
Mike, I just
hole
melted.
everything.
I just melted. Listen to you describe that. Melted in my chair. Holy smokes. Shout out. Brendan was showing me the numbers on who listens and whatever. Shout out to that number, that one guy in France, guy or girl, I don't know, who listens in France. Shout out to you. Come on this podcast.
Every podcast. Every
single one. He's in
Get
France.
out.
He's listening. I don't know. He must speak English. I mean, if he doesn't, then he just listened to us jibber jabber. But shout out to him. Have a great week, everyone. Play better. Take it away, Brent.
Thanks. As always, guys, you can find us on social media at Duffin Up at Duffin Up blog on Twitter, Duffin Up on Facebook, and at Duffin Up blog on Instagram as well. If you want to follow us, you can follow Timmy at Chooch Golf on TikTok, and you can follow at Duffin_up on TikTok. We have been building a fantastic community there. I just want to thank everyone who has come from there to listen to us today. We're going to hope to keep building it. We're going to hope to keep building this up because, hey, once we hit those thousands of listeners and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe we'll get a little money here or there. Maybe Mikey can finally pay that initiation fee at the country club. We'll never know. But the most important thing is that you guys are here with us and that hopefully you're enjoying the way we talk. If you don't, just leave a 5-star review anyways and then tell us to go screw. But we really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Get on out there. As Timmy says, play better. As Mike says, hole everything. As I say, just get on out there and let it fly. Have a great week, guys. We'll see you next time.